Hey there, hope you're having a great day today, and Merry Christmas. Don't know if you'll see this video before Christmas or after. So if it's before, Merry Christmas. If it's after, I hope you had a Merry Christmas. Where I live here in North Carolina, my grass is still growing. I mean, let's look right here, and you can see that's up above 4 inches. There are blades that are probably around the 5-inch mark. There's a blade right there, 5.5 inches. So grass is still growing here. Temperature today is around 57 degrees. Tomorrow is supposed to be mid 60s with rain. So, you know, I mean, I don't mow the grass all that often during the winter time, but I mow it when it needs to be mowed. There's no real health reasons for that, strictly for aesthetics. But I guess if you had to put a health reason in there, it would be so that, you know, the grass is growing slow this time of the year. I don't want it to get so tall and out of hand that all of a sudden I have to come in here and bale hay. I don't want that to happen. I think I mowed it right before Thanksgiving, and then that was at 3.5 inches, or 3 inches, I believe. And it's grown up to 5 to 5.5 inches in roughly a month. For reference, today is December the 17th right there, so a little bit before Christmas. So, you know, maybe not quite a month. I have had some growth. It's just time to mow. And I want to show you a new mower. Well, not necessarily a new mower, but a new mower deck. And the reason I got this mower deck is, you know, I'm in the process of looking for some more land. And by the way, a little update on that is, you know, we had the land sold, and then the buyers, with a couple of weeks to go, backed out of the offer, the deal. So, you know, that one fell through. But immediately the day after, a couple come in and put down a very substantial amount for due diligence. Anybody that knows anything about buying, selling land, that's money you put down, kind of giving your word, hey, I'm going to buy it. And it was a pretty large chunk of money. So we know these folks are pretty serious. So this time it should go through. So I think mid-January or so, end of January, we're supposed to close. And then we're hot and heavy looking for more land. And if you follow me, you know I'm going to have a buttload of Bermuda out there for a mini driving range I'm going to put in for golf. And the majority of the time I'll reel mow that with the reel mower attachment that goes on my Ventrac. But there will be times where I want to get like a super fast mow in, which might end up being a lot of the times, as busy as I am. And so I want a deck, a rotary deck that covers a wide area that I can mow with. Now, why didn't I go with their 95-inch wide area deck? Pretty simple. I've got one of those at the shop. The guys use it. I didn't want to buy a second one. I wanted this one because of the way the deck functions. Let me show you. So you operate this deck in the float position, okay, using the SDLA, and then look, see how this side comes up and down? So there's 3 independent decks of each other, although it's one mower deck, and so it can follow the contours of the ground. See these wires right here? So if you have this part of the deck sloping down in a ditch, those wires will allow that deck to go down in there and mow. This thing has 6 mower blades on it. It's two blades per deck. And I have checked the height of cut on it. It is mint, spot on. I've got it set on 3.5 today. Yeah, I just looked at my grass and said, man, it's kind of bushy and shaggy, so I didn't want to cut too much off of it. So this is as high as the deck will mow, 3.5. And the cool thing is it goes down to 3/4 of an inch, which is fantastic for Bermuda. If I had to say one thing about this deck that I am in no way a fan of, it's the way you adjust the height of cut. You can see right here, each wheel has a series of bolts that you use to adjust the height of cut. That's using the wheels as the actual adjustment. That's not a big deal. That's not too bad. But back here, you have to do the same thing with this roller bar back here. So yeah, that acts as a striper, but you can see the way you have to do it. You have to undo this side and that side, and then there's one for each deck. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different adjustments back here you have to make just to change the height of cut. So yeah, that's a little bit frustrating to say the least, but it is what it is. Maybe one day they'll come out with a different style that it'll be a little easier to adjust. So with that said, I'm not going to take the time to adjust all this between mowing the fescue and the bluegrass. We're just going to mow them both on 3.5 and roll with it. Oh, and something else I did is I bought a set of these radial tires instead of the knobbies. That way it's not nearly as aggressive on the turf. So I'm going to keep it real simple today. Look at that color. That's dark green right there, baby. I mean, she is glowing. I'm gonna do it real simple. I'm gonna stick a drone up in the air, speed the footage up, put some music to it, because I got to get with it. Me and my wife are going out of town tomorrow. I got a lot to do. And I forgot to mention, you can see this is a brand spanking new mower deck. Has never been cut with, and boy, I get excited when I mow the new mower. I can't wait to see how good it cuts, or how bad it cuts. Alright, so my apologies. I'm going to change this to 3 inches, where I've been cutting it pretty much all fall. The grass ain't quite tall enough, and it's kind of just nipping the tops of it, and I ain't crazy about that kind of cut, because it's not cutting it clean, because it's just not tall enough. So give me a minute. I'm going to drop this to 3 inches, and we'll start over. All right, so in case you're wondering, it took me 10 minutes and 13 seconds to adjust the height of cut. So yeah, the mower deck itself is a little bit too big for my yard, as you can see from me having to turn around and, you know, kind of finagle around the edges and stuff. But the cut quality's pretty good. How do I say this? I personally think that this mower deck will cut better on shortcut turf. The actual quality of the cut, how good the blades cut the grass and leave it uniform, is 10. Fantastic. What I don't like are the tire tracks. You can see right here, see how the Ventrac kind of creates a little bit of a tire track right here, and then of course there's nothing here, and that's where the cut quality is intense. So I think a shortcut turf, the overall result will be considerably better, because you'll be less likely to have these indentions from the tire tracks. And you know, cutting it 3 inches, it's obviously the tires are going to lay the turf down a little bit more than where the tires don't travel. So it is what it is, but overall looks pretty dang good. Here's the backyard. Looks pretty good. And you know, on that tire track thing, I think if mowing in the spring, it will look totally and completely different than it looks now. The ground is super moist, like really moist right now. We've had quite a bit of rain recently. And you know, when the ground's soft, of course the grass lays a little bit different than when it's, you know, springtime, actively growing really hard, and like the grass, it has elasticity in it real good, and it bounces back, you know, as soon as a tire runs over it. I think it would look dramatically different. Not that it looks bad now, I think it looks pretty good, but it would increase the quality of appearance overall in the springtime mowing with that deck, as opposed to this time of year in the fall. And of course, like I said, it's not really the ideal mower deck for my size yard, but I was excited and wanted to use it and try it out. When we get the farm and get some land and have, you know, a couple of acres of turf to mow, then it'll really come in handy and be the ideal mower for that location for sure. Looks good. I just about said Bermuda. The bluegrass, Kentucky bluegrass, GCI turf blue heat, not Bermuda. Bermuda's brown like a paper sack right now. This is Kentucky bluegrass. Around the house is a mixture of fescue and bluegrass. I'd say it's probably getting close to about 50-50 now. The bluegrass is really spread a lot in my yard around the house. But anyway, that's that. I wanted to show you that mower, show you the yard. Again, December 17th, and it's looking fantastic. Check you later.